Maria claimed to run a barber shop from this home in Rockdale. Adrian claimed to run a barber shop from an apartment in this Joliet house. Maria received nearly $21,000 in federal loans. Adrian, who has a history with...
We're talking about millions of dollars that was supposed to go to small businesses that were struggling, but instead one local accountant tried to help himself.
A 43-year-old Liberian national pleaded guilty Tuesday to orchestrating a fraud scheme to get more than $23 million in money that was supposed to help small businesses struggling during the pandemic, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Northern District of Texas.
Criminals can be around any corner.
Stephen Jalul, seen here on his Facebook page, is an accountant. The listed address for his business is inside this North Dallas office building. A recent home address is at this apartment complex in Garland, where neighbors say he drove fancy cars and wore high-end clothing. Some we spoke with off camera suspected he was up to something shady. Others
had no idea. I'll tell you what, it takes all kinds of people.
Here's what happened. The federal government rolled out $350 billion in forgivable PPP loans during the pandemic. It was meant to help struggling businesses pay and keep employees. The feds, however, say Jalul, after his arrest last fall, admitted while working as an accountant to inflating the number of employees businesses had so they could get more money from the government.
Show your face! Show your face, please! With sugar on top.
Now, y'all know they say that PPP stands for Preparing People for Prison. And as I always tell y'all, if you ask me, I think those loans were set up from the beginning, but I can't even blame the government. I blame the people that literally thought stealing from Uncle Sam using their real credentials was even a smart decision, or why they thought stealing thousands of dollars would be so easy without any repercussions. Real scammers' spider senses started tingling once they heard that all they had to do was fill out a few questions and they would get several thousands back. Because as they say, if it sounds too good to be true, it usually is. However, people who never scammed before decided to live their best lives by putting false information on their applications, and now the feds are after them. Now, some think it's a game and think that nothing's going to come out of it, because not too long ago they did have a list that came out full of people names who committed fraud through these loans. It kind of blew over and we never heard much about it afterwards. We just seen people making fun of people names that they knew on social media. But fast forward to now, the government is putting cases on all you sons of B-words. Because it has been reported now that over 500,000 people will have warrants put out for their arrest for their roles in the PPP fraud due to over $2 billion being illegally obtained, which, as we see on social media, it may have all just went to furniture, designer clothes, Azul bottles, and strip club. But then you have those that went a little overboard and was purchasing luxury cars, houses, and more, all due to illegal funds they stole from Uncle Sam. So we're going to get into a few people who have something to say in regards to 500,000 people being held accountable for these funds. And y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the end. But before we get into it, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, hype the video so we can get into the algorithm. And if you not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it.
I don't know if you guys saw a video of a young lady, and it's really sad. She's doing a countdown, a 30-day countdown until she starts her 114 months prison sentence for PPP fraud. The details of this case are pretty sad. The lady has young kids and etc., and she's leaving all of them to start this prison sentence for something that she actually tried to help some other people do. I know her main charges was money laundering and wire fraud, and there might be other things, I'm not 100% sure. And it appears the total amount that she's going to jail for is $190,000. That's the amount that she's directly related to for this PPP fraud. But apparently there's some other calculation, and they are making her liable for over $800,000 in damages. And for this reason, she's being put behind bars for 114 months, and she has young little kids she has to leave. So basically, for less than $200,000, this person is going to federal prison for almost 10 years. We're almost over 5 years since the pandemic, and the charges are slowly starting to roll in for many people like her. They're getting their sentencing and they're getting ready to go to prison. So this is crazy. I don't know if
you know what's crazy. The crazy part is the fact that they committed this in 2020, 2021, around that era. Right? And the crazy part is now it's just now catching up. So just imagine, right? You did this scam, you thought it was, I guess, going to be beneficial. Next thing you know, years later, you're going to jail for it. And he said that she's looking at almost 10 years in prison for something she did in 2020. Not to mention something that she barely got money for. Like he said, it was under $200,000. You just gotta, like, it's not worth it. It's damn sure not worth 10 years. And then when you think about it, what did she do with the money? I wonder what she did with it. I'm pretty sure anything she did with that money wasn't worth 10 years. I tell you that much. Because you have opportunity to get way more money than that within 10 years. So I know she's regretting it. And he's trying to make it seem like it's a sad story. It ain't sad if you knew what you was doing. The problem is, people seen it as a quick money grab. They was putting in real names. They thought it was just lit. And now, they suffer the consequences. Let's go to the next video.
Anybody heard about these PPP loans again? I'm asking for a friend. This time I'm not gonna get left behind. This time I'm gonna be on the train right along with y'all. We bail together.
Hey, the train to jail. Right? You going straight to jail, especially talking. I know she don't know what she's doing.
No, I have a business. I have a business. So why can't I get a PPP loan for about $650,000 that could potentially be forgiven? Business is called BJ Delights. I only have one customer, and he's a very loyal, faithful customer. No complaints. He asks for my services all the fucking time. So there's my business, BJ Delights, LLC.
Now, for y'all that don't understand, because I ain't gonna lie, when I first seen this, I kind of didn't understand what she was talking about. She said BJ Delights. Well, she's referring to a blowjob. She says she has one client, and that's her business. Right? The only thing is, I don't think you could file taxes on that. I don't think that the government would accept that business. However, one of the reasons why I wanted to point this out is because you do have people that thought just because they had a business that they could fill out these PPP loans any way they want. They was falsifying income. So if they generated only, let's say, $50,000 for the year, they were lying saying, well, you know, we made 100,000. You know, we made this, we made that. They was inflating the numbers. And in terms of inflating those numbers, this is why they got in trouble. Let's go to the next video.
And I'm gonna say this because I can't speak on it, okay? I can't speak on it. Now gather whatever you want from the first couple of sentences. Trying to figure out why people on Facebook, I know they're weird. Why is y'all resharing the PPP list? Like there's a new list. It's not a new list. Baby, everybody already done seen the list the first time it came out. I don't understand. Like y'all act like y'all got tea. No, you don't. You got piss. Okay? You say it for everybody in the back. You got piss. Okay? And if you so happen to have missed out on when the list came out and people posting it, then now's your chance. Here's another FYI. Some of us were given options to have that loan forgiven, like myself, and I did. So while y'all kiki ha ha ha, make sure you know all your information. Make sure you got your facts straight.
So basically what she's saying is she was one of the people, I guess, that did the PPP loan. And she's saying that while people are laughing at the list that came out, because as y'all know, there was names that was released, and she's saying basically nothing happened. And for people that's laughing, she's saying that she was given the option to be forgiven for basically the PPP loan. So she's saying while y'all laughing, y'all don't really have your information. There is people that did do it, and there's people that names are on the list. However, they wouldn't be getting in trouble. But 9 times out of 10, she's not the people we referring to, right? She's probably the one that just did a little bit, right? They don't really care. If you did, they looking for the big guys. They looking for the people that thought that they was going to get away with the 20, the 30, 50,000s, the 100,000s. Those are the people that they want. If you just filled out a little false information, you didn't really get back much, they don't really care. They're like, all right, you know what? It's forgiven. Or maybe she didn't. Maybe she did do the PPP loan, but she did it the right way, or probably messed up a little bit, and they just saying, listen, we forgive you. It ain't that. We not looking for people like you. However, don't get it twisted. The people that they are looking for, they are coming. Let's go to the next video.
Said the feds had gotten 583,000 people under federal indictment for the PPP loan scandal. He said that up to $10 billion So that
Well, I must correct them. It wasn't 10 billion. They say it was up to 2 point something billion, 2.8, I believe. But I don't know, maybe he got more information, more details, who knows? Maybe it's accumulating as they do investigations, but to my knowledge, it was supposed to be only about 2.5 or 2.8.
There's gonna be a lot of people in your city, in your state getting incarcerated. I was trying to tell people, I'm a small business owner. Yes, I got the PPP loan, but the PPP loan only gave me enough money to pay my bills. They didn't give me enough money to buy clothes, buy a car, to buy chicken wings, tequila 1942, Rolexes. There's so many people named on the fraud list. You can go online and look up the PPP loan fraud list in your city and in your state. You're going to see so many people that's in your community that did it. I can name so many people who did it. I own a daycare, I own a barbershop, I own this, I own janitorial services.
The ones that they was using the most was the barbershops, the nail salons, and things of that nature. I guess they felt that they can make it seem like, you know, even though they don't have taxes or what, I don't know what they thought, but I know that they were using the nails and the barbershop little scam the most.
I'm gonna get you. I know people that's on Section 8 and on welfare that went out there and took their loan. Don't forget, Goofy, you gotta use your Social Security number. What make you think you can steal these people money? If you took any money from the feds, please contact the Small Business Administration and try to get them something and say you made a mistake because you were misled. If not, they're gonna lock you. You'll be a felon. You're gonna be able to get certain jobs. And then the women you were on welfare Section 8, you would never be able to get any of them entities again. You'll never get any of that assistance again. Y'all gotta wake the fuck up. This is not a game. 500,000 plus are on the federal watch list for fraud for the PPP loan and the SBA loans. They coming to a community.
All right, now, I wouldn't sit there and advise that you snitch on yourself, right? Because it's one of those situations, what if you wasn't on their radar and you go tell them that you did it, and the next thing you know, they say, well, thank you, we didn't know we wasn't coming for you, but now we do, right? So I wouldn't advise you to go and tell on yourself, but he's basically saying that if they do come, you just tell them that you was misled, you didn't know what you was doing, so forth. But it's but so much that's gonna work, right? They're not stupid. This is why they have over 500,000 people under, like he said, indictment, but they will be warranted. Now he's saying that he is an actual business owner, and the money that he's seen other people with, he don't know how they got that, because basically he put in the right information and the money that he got was only able to afford his bills and basically keep the lights on for his business. So, I mean, take advice from him. Let's go to the next person.
After people got the PPP loans, the government kind of did their checks and balances. They were calling everybody who got the PPP loans just so that they can verify the business that they received the loan on. Some people did not complete that survey. So I think the government went after those people first.
Okay.
Because they just didn't complete the survey.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay, so you're not completing this, you must be hiding something. And they were the first to get investigated.
Yep.
The government was setting people up for the next prison system ring, because prisons they're empty. They're not as full as they used to be. And I really think that this was a way to get people to commit crime, because they know people are greedy. They know human nature. Yep. They're greedy. We like money. So,
and then I said this all along, because who in their right mind going to say, listen, we're not checking nothing. You just fill this out. After you fill it out, you give it to us, and we're going to send you a check. Right? And they knew people was going to fall for it because greed, like she said, it's just about greed. But it was one of the easiest setups, because who in their right mind would think that you're going to take all this money from the government and falsify and nothing is going to happen? You falsified records thinking that you were just going to get thousands of dollars and nothing was going to come after it. No. If you don't pay your taxes on time, they coming. So what makes you think you could steal thousands and put it in their face that you stole it and they just gonna let you. Doesn't make sense.
I think this was a way for them to set people up for the future because they knew that they were coming back 4 or 5 years later. They knew they were going to do their checks and balances, and they were going to put people in prison who committed these frauds. And that's the thing. That's why you have to look at at this as being a plan. They waited. They were going to see what these people were going to do. Are you going to file that shell company in 2021? Are you going to file taxes on that shell company in 2022, 23, 24, 25? Now we're in 26, and now they are arresting you because your ass forgot to file your taxes on that shell company or that fake company that you had. They are
Oh, so she's saying basically they did this purposely, and this is why they waited so long to come. Because they said, all right, if you got a business, then more than likely you got to pay taxes on that business every year. So we're going to wait and see if you're paying taxes on that business, in which you're not because it's fake. So what's going to happen is now that you're not paying taxes and we know that you're the easiest to point out because there's no business clearly, we're going to come after you first. Opposed to the other ones that maybe do have real businesses but still lied, we're going to come after the people that said they have a business but they clearly don't. And then if they can't prove that they do, then they go to jail.
Purposely putting these people in prison for 9 to 10 years because they had already built these prisons that were not filling up, and now here's their chance for the next 10 years to capitalize off the industrial prison complex. It was all planned and all designed.
All right, so there you have it. She's basically saying that she feels that it was a plan from the beginning, and it was a setup. Now, I think the same thing. I think it's probably a little more intricate. She's saying that it's due to the failing prison system, in which I don't think the prison system is failing because, as you can see, you have people getting locked up left and right. And prison is definitely not going to be one of those situations where you're ever going to have an empty cell. But she's saying that they're building new prisons, and they had to look for a reason or a way to come up with getting them populated. That's her story, and she's sticking to it. Let's go to the next person.
For real. Because at the end of the day, what's the difference from getting a PPP loan and not having a business, then applying for the unemployment, the PUA, and you never had a job? What's the difference? Because half of them PPP loans was 20 or 30,000. Guess what? Some of y'all got that amount from the unemployment and never worked a day in your life. Y'all, this city love the drag. Worry about where city money going at, okay? Worry about that. Worry about who's stealing money. Worry about that.
Well, she got a point, but the only problem is the government don't see it as that. So, don't exploit one person or one thing because y'all got caught. Right? Leave the unemployment people alone. But she does have a point. However, like I said, the government don't see it that way. And if they did, then a whole bunch of people will be getting locked up for unemployment fraud. But they're not. They're getting locked up for PPP. Let's go to the next person.
I ain't gonna lie, yo. We going to quarantine this time. I'm doing them PPP loans, bro. Not enough people got arrested for me the first time. I seen people walking away with 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. Granted, there's probably some people that got arrested for this, but not to my knowledge. It's not enough. It's not enough.
Now, just because not to his knowledge, a lot of people got locked up for it, don't go with his ideology. It's just completely stupid. Because he's saying just because he didn't see a lot of people get locked up that maybe it's not happening. But it very much is. And they just dropped the list, and they just said that 500,000 people will be warranted. So maybe you didn't see or know of people that got locked up before, but don't worry. Just wait.
So yeah, I dare y'all to lock this world down again. Watch what happens. I'm going to be a millionaire of triple P, bro. Promise you that.
And the problem is there's people that really felt like that. They thought that they were going to become millionaires. Or 1,000, 100,000, whatever. There's a lot of people that's going to jail for every bit of 20, 30, maybe $50,000. And I'm talking about 9 to 10 years. So it's definitely not worth it. But if you think that that amount of money is worth it, then to each his own. Let's go to the next video.
Okay, so y'all know they brought the stuff up about the PPP loan again, right? But I'm gonna tell y'all, listen to my theory. Y'all already know I mind the business that pays me. I go to the messy side. I don't go over there for me. I go over there for y'all, and you're welcome. Y'all, so this is my theory. You know what all happened back in 2020 when Rona hit, everybody lost their jobs, people was laid off, people wasn't getting out. So what did that do to the economy? That really just made the economy pretty much go flat because nobody's out, nobody's spending money, people don't have jobs. So the whole whirlwind of money and the way the world works It wasn't working like that no more. So what they did was, in order to pump money into the economy, they came up with the PPP loans and all this stuff. If you have a business, blah, blah, blah. But what they did was they purposely let poor people, black people, people in poor communities, or however you want to say it, people who didn't have no money, scammers, whatever, they let all of them get the loans. Half of these people can't even get a car loan, but you let them get a high-powered loan like that. That's where you should have known right there. When you got all these people from the same house opening up the same business bank account.
You know, she got a point too, because when you think about it, they wouldn't approve you for a car loan, house loan, none of those loans, right? But let alone, they allowed you to get the PPP loan with little to no proof of anything. That's how you should have knew it was a setup from the beginning.
Yo, it was designed to pump money into the economy, to keep the rich people rich, and then all of a sudden now we gonna jail all these people who we knew didn't have businesses, gave them the loans anyway. It was all supposed to go that way. Now they gonna lock.
And like she said, they're the ones that gave it out with little to no proof, with no effort, no nothing. But yet now the people that did it, and of course, you know, the people who was unprivileged, the people who are in poor communities, of course they seen a money grab, so they was gonna do it. But they're the only ones being held responsible or held accountable, which is kind of crazy, but I guess it is breaking the law, it is fraud, so it is what it is.
All them people up and make more money off of them. You know what? I gotta go. Bye.
All right, so pretty much she's saying that it was all designed to give money out so those same people could basically pump that money into the economy, getting the richer and the poorer, because if you didn't know what to do with that money before, because you never had it, 9 times out of 10 when you got it, all you was gonna do was spend. And you was influenced to spend when you seen on social media everybody else spending. You seen the Azul bottles everywhere, the furniture people was buying, some even buying cars, the whole 9 yards, people going to strip clubs, all type of things they was doing. I guess when they get money, they was going to do because they didn't have no money. So like she said, they probably was just plotting on pumping money back into the economy, making the richer people rich. And it just is what it is. Let's go to the last video.
I didn't know that the second largest Somali population in the United States was in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio. Yeah, they just got an investigation done there, and Ohio, we were getting fleeced. They went to 7 buildings. There were apparently 288 companies in those 7 buildings that were empty, but they billed $250 million between the years 2018 to 2014.
Crazy.
Those same companies, it shows you that they've been doing this for a long time. They got over 3.8 billion in PPP loans. With a B, billion. I said that. That's how much they got in PPP loans. The investigation shows that there's ties to the Somali network in Columbus. So 1 + 1 = 2. I mean, what more do we have to say? 3.3 billion in overpayments due to weak controls in an outdated system. They're saying that we keep paying out because our systems are antiquated, they're old. We got AI, we got all this technology, and you guys can't fix the government, man.
So not only that, right? But if you know anything about the Somali community, and I'm not sure, but I think in Columbus, they were actually busted for running fake daycares. Because y'all know how daycares have all type of tax breaks and benefits and things like that. So what happened was they're milking the system, and they have fake daycares where there's no children, right? So they're lying, I guess, on the taxes, they're lying on whatever they're doing, but they're getting a lot of money saying that there's kids, and there's no kids in these daycares. It's all fake businesses, they're filing, but nobody's coming to make sure and investigate that these businesses or these daycares are real. So they're getting away with it, getting millions upon millions of dollars. And now he's saying that they also have 3.8 billion in PPP fraud that may be connected to him. Crazy. Y'all drop in the comments, let me know what y'all think about this. How do y'all feel about the whole PPP thing? And do y'all think that they are gonna come after over 500,000 people? That's a lot of people, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm gonna keep on dropping. And I'm out. Are you tired of a bunch of social media gurus promising you results with their course, but all they do is take a bunch of information off YouTube and Google, then sell it to you? Well, look no further. Our YouTube Tips and Tricks Masterclass course comes equipped with SEO tips and tricks, along with methods we use to growth hack our YouTube channel. It also includes step-by-step ways to publish your video before uploading to guarantee a great SEO score, therefore your videos can rank and be shown to a bigger audience. Views and subscribers don't come by luck, and just how YouTube have an algorithm, you should have one as well that can guarantee you results. We doing websites and softwares we personally use to generate money creating Faces YouTube channels. If you also would like to skip the process and just buy other pre-built accounts, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook, we also threw that in there for you too. We went through trial and error, so you don't have to. Click the link in the description or the comments and get started today.